there's obviously two things I want to share with the game, right? And the question I wanted to ask you. Now, first thing first, the game came out last Friday, and and it's a 96 on Metacritic right now, right? So I believe it is the highest rated game this gen. Maybe the first one might be a little bit higher. Maybe Breath of the Wild is a little bit higher, but yeah, but it's a critically acclaimed game. Sold very well, as you can see here, 10 million copies in 3 days.
In 3 days. That's Mario type numbers. But yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
which is the highest, which is the most that is sold in that short amount of time ever. It
Hmm.
is the fastest selling title in the franchise history, right? So,
Yeah.
hey, so Tears Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has a sold an eye-watering 10 million copies in the first 3 days on the market, making it the fastest selling title in franchise history. The early sales milestone also makes it the fastest selling Switch game ever in the Americas and the fastest selling Nintendo title on any system released in the region. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts.
Um, all right, so Nintendo also revealed that the Zelda series overall has sold 130 million units as of March this year. Before Tears of the Kingdom, 10 million sales have been added. So you have the tweet right here. Um, is there anything else more relevant to it? Because it's not really not. Let me read this. Many players are returning to Hyrule with all of its new mysteries and possibilities, and with the record-breaking launch of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for Nintendo Switch, we can't wait to see what they'll create in the game and the stories they'll share next," said Nintendo of America's executive vice president Devin Pritchard. We're grateful for all of our fans who showed their passion for Zelda over the years, and these sales numbers for the latest installment continue to show the strong momentum for both the franchise and Nintendo Switch this year.
Hmm.
And IGN obviously they gave it a 10 out of 10. Um, but let me ask you a question. Right now we've had the okay. Hold on. Let me read this from Joe first
That
before I ask this
that
question.
that part right there where you took it out. Okay.
Oh yeah, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, yeah. You're saying?
Um, yeah. Okay. Let me see this real quick. So it says show passion of the year. These sales. Oh, stupid ads. Yeah. Scroll. I don't know if you have to scroll up or
Let
down.
me.
Okay.
No, go. I think we're right there.
Hard to cloud into the cloud where expanding, evolving the world that already been felt full beyond expectation. For everything else, Tears of the Kingdom, be sure to take a look at the walkthrough. Oh, okay, okay, all right. So they're just talking about how the game has just been pretty much the game it really expand, which from from what I've been hearing, a lot of people have been complaining about. But what's your question?
The question I have, right? Because obviously the game is a critical hit, a commercial hit. So the question I have, right now, obviously the game is on the Switch, which is obviously not the strongest console in the world, and the
Okay.
game does run at sub 20 frames, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said, even though the games are fantastic, the barrier for them being fantastic is a lot lower than your average Xbox and PlayStation game. Because when it comes to PlayStation games, they're judged on more stuff like voice acting, like animations, all the other stuff that Nintendo games don't provide. Most of the time, they don't provide.
Okay.
Now, the question I have for you is: do you think Nintendo gets a pass when it comes to these reviewers?
Um. Hmm. To a degree, I think they get a pass well, yeah, to a degree. I think they do get a pass, frankly, because I think because of the brand, and obviously when it comes to Zelda, when it comes to Mario, if the gameplay is great, I think it's a lot easier for any consumer or any reviewer to bypass everything else, even though it's somewhat quote unquote should be a standard when it comes to gaming, like how you mentioned voice acting. Now,
Mhm.
as far as voice acting goes for Zelda, they do have voice acting in it, but only in cutscenes,
Yeah.
only in cinematic stuff.
But
Which
more so, I'm talking more about the performance, right? Because obviously, you look at Redfall, and that's the only reason why Xbox dudes are bringing this up because of Redfall, right? Because Redfall was criticized for being 30 FPS, and here you have a game that runs below that in certain parts.
mm-hmm.
Even though I would argue that Tears of the Kingdom looks a shit ton a lot better than Redfall, and it's a better game.
Yeah, Redfall looks like trash.
Yeah,
I think you said it looked like a 360 game.
yeah, it looks like a 360 game. The game looks awful.
Yeah.
And look, I get it. The Nintendo, their, Tears of the Kingdom is like it's damn sure not Horizon when it comes to visuals. It's not
Well, of course
Horizon
not. Not even
but
close. Of course.
but the art style that it does utilize is very beautiful and it's very well done.
Yeah.
And the thing that I wanted to address, and because I do agree that Nintendo games in general do get oh, hold on, let me read this from Joe. He said that I respectfully, Hoovy, you need more than just Redfall to be fair.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Um, what you mean? What you mean by that? Like, just clarify that for me.
I think what he's saying is that you using Redfall as an
Oh, no,
example.
no, 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 no. Good. Here's the thing. Okay. I get it. Here's the thing. The reaction to this game from Xbox fanboys had everything to do with Redfall. This is on them. This is not on me. This is not on me. This is not on me. This is on them because they're the ones that are so obsessed with Redfall and the reception it got and all the grief that it got because it's 30 FPS, right? And it has performance issues and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And they're asking, "Oh, why is it that Zelda can get away with this but Redfall didn't, or with PlayStation guy, or why this game didn't and whatnot." And while I agree to an extent, my main point is that if a game is good no matter what. Obviously, performance could affect it if it's that bad, but a good game's a good game. And I'm sorry, Redfall is not a good game. It's not a good game. And then I mentioned like a game like what's that game called? The one that Sony Ben made a couple years ago. Days Gone, right? Days Gone, I don't think it's a bad game, but it's nothing special. Especially when you compare it to what Naughty Dog did with The Last of Us Part Two. It's nothing special,
Right.
and people need to just realize that. Like, yeah, do I think Zelda is a bit overrated in certain points? Yeah,
Oh, here we go.
no, no,
Here
no,
we
no,
go.
in
Oh, here we go.
certain aspects, yes. But there's a reason why this game continuously sells well and rates well because it's a great game. It's a great game. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
But if the game is great, how is it overrated? If it's great,
No, I said certain aspects of it is overrated.
okay.
There's certain aspects of it is overrated. But yeah, like to me, I just think people who are bitching complaining about the game are just doing so. I feel like a lot of it's just done on jealousy.
Oh, you think you think it's envy? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's envy, jealousy, especially from the Xbox dudes. Like, come on now.
But do you think they have a point? Because I remember you mentioned. I think you said that 60 frames per second should be the standard.
Yeah, but I also know that the Switch can't handle that. If for a game that big, like, yeah, it can't handle that.
Hmm.
So it's like, so what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed, like, the part of the reason why Redfall gets the shit that it gets is because the marketing behind it from Microsoft, talking about, oh, the most powerful console, 60 FPS is the standard. That's on them. Context matters.
Yeah.
We know what Zelda was gonna be. We know it, and if that's not good enough for you, then that's fine. Don't buy it. It's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? To me, the part the score when it came to Nintendo game that got me confused was Mario Odyssey. There is nothing special about that game. I'm sorry, there's nothing special about it.
No, here we go. There's
I'm,
nothing
I'm,
special about that
no,
game.
there isn't. There isn't.
The only reason why that you feel that way is only because you felt that you got bamboozled because you thought that they were going to go on a different direction.
Yeah,
'Cause when you saw how he was interacting, with regular humans, you thought it was going to go to a completely different direction.
yeah,
That they was going to take a risk similar to how Nintendo took a risk with Mario Sunshine,
yeah,
completely different from all the other Mario games. And then when you saw that it was a regular traditional Mario game, you got upset over it. That's why you're saying that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No disagreements. No disagreement. Like, and people fawning over this game, and I played the game at your place. I'm like, yo, there's nothing special about this game.
Oh my
It's a
god.
combination of every Mario game that's come out, 3D Mario game that's come out. It's just a combination of all of them.
Hmm.
At least Zelda tries something new. At least the gameplay loop for Zelda is a lot better.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it is what it is. Conspiracy Agent says what annoys me when people ask when an absurdly high graphic game will be ported on Switch. Sure, if you want it 2 frames per second. Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't get it either. And then they're doing the whole cloud gaming thing when it comes to some of the higher intense games, and I'm like, why would you play like that? And on the Switch of all places.
Yeah.
Conspiracy Agent also said Switch is a great system, but it can't handle everything smoothly. True. Overrated. Joe said overrated. No, it just gets deserved props. But yeah, sometimes people hang on to Zelda's nuts too much.
Well, I mean, wait, hold on. Well, first, let me go back to what conspiracy agent said. He said
Huh?
Switch is a great system, but it can't handle everything smoothly. Like, I don't necessarily think that it really needs to, because everybody already expects and is aware that it is the weaker console against the other two. But
Yeah.
if you want to add PC in there, so that's another one. So you have the PC, you have Sony, and you have the Xbox. Everyone is already aware of it, that it's not as strong as the other two consoles. But the thing is, I think people are now accepting that at the very least it's good enough. Look at this other game. Like I had put it. I wanted to share this screen real quick.
Mhm.
Um,
Hey, be careful.
oh, even if it's on Google, I have to be careful.
Yeah, be careful.
Oh, for goodness sakes, man. All right, so I mean, all right. Let me see. Well, it's probably hard for you all to see, but when I look at this game and when I was watching my brothers play, now I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh my gosh," look at the graphics. Like, I wasn't in awe like I was when I'm watching people play, let's say, God of War, for example, or Resident Evil 4. Like, of course not. But everybody could look at this game and say that, wow, it's durable. At least it's still good enough. Like you said, it's better than Redfall.
Yeah, it's a
And,
great.
and
It's a great looking game. In general. I think it's a great looking game.
yeah, and with the art style that it uses, with the color and everything, like, it's still a beautiful game to watch. So it doesn't really have to look all realistic, like Horizon or Ghost of Tsushima, or Call of Duty and whatnot. Even though I don't think Call of Duty is as great graphically as all the other games, but at the very least, it's still durable. So I don't necessarily think it has to be run smoothly. Conspiracy Agent, this is still good enough. When you
Nah,
look at Smash
well,
Brothers.
no. Well, Smash Brothers runs at what 60.
Hmm.
Yeah, like Smash Brothers runs fine. This game, there's time when the game chugs.
I haven't really seen it, nor did I experienced it yet. I haven't really seen people complain that there's drop offs and whatnot. But
I
you could be right. You could be right.
I've seen it. People have complained about that, but even with that, like not every just because the game is a 10 doesn't mean it's perfect. Doesn't mean it's perfect. It's just that there are certain things that doesn't do everything well, but the overall presentation, everything about the game shows you that this is one of the best games to come out.
Hmm.
So yeah, so
So you okay with how the green looks graphically?
yeah, I don't have a problem with the graphics of the game.
Okay.
Absolutely no issue with it.
But you see, well, see, then that's the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
You could still get away with it despite the fact that it's not as powerful as the Xbox or Sony.
No, but the problem that I think people have is the performance, is the frame rates. Like if it's chugging at certain points, people are gonna be like, oh well, they're not gonna give Horizon that opportunity if there's a section where it chugs or whatever. Which I actually don't see people complaining about the performance in Horizon. When performance becomes an issue is if it's really bad or if the game's no good.
Hmm.
Right? Like Jedi Fallen Order, right? Like that Star Wars game that came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
People are have complained about the performance of the game. Absolutely, people have complained about it. But the game is good enough to where people can still play the game and like the game.
yeah.
All right, so let me read some comments. Kidbit said that Microsoft should buy Sega.
No, 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 Kid, no, no. I believe that Microsoft will completely ruin, will make their franchise worse, the whole company worse than it already is now. Because when it comes to Sega, all we have is pretty much Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is the only game that's pretty much carrying that company. I mean, at least in my opinion, because I agree with Hoovy 186 said that that Sonic is a much bigger brand than Sega is as a whole.
Yeah,
So I don't necessarily think that's the answer. If anything, I would prefer if Sony or Nintendo buys it. But even I wouldn't even want that either. But whatever.
yeah. So I know Rudolphi's saying he's in favor of Microsoft buying Activision. So you know,
Yeah, he's in favor of that too. I don't know what's going on with Riddler, but yeah, Riddler will be Riddler.
yeah. I have so much to say. So Malta, what's going on, Malta? How you doing, bro?
Oh, Malta's here, man. Malta, you've been missing in action, brother. But man, it's so awesome, to have you here again, man. You've been missed.
All right, so Joe said it's not Nintendo if you don't chug. Uh, Retrospective J, aka Nintendo Gamer, what's going on, bro?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Nintendo Gamer.
hmm
Oh, okay. What's up, Nintendo Gamer? It's been a while, brother.
yeah. So yeah,
Hi,
so
Zelda. Yeah, yeah, he said it's good. Here's the thing, Hoovy. Uh, I also believe the reason why it gets a pass. Let's just be real. I mean, it's a Zelda game, and and if the game is good, I think that's all people care about.
yeah, that's all. Yeah, but like to me, if like, and I agree. If it's good, that's all that should matter. I think the only thing that I reserve that I don't like is when games like Horizon and I can't think of any other game, but games like that, like the PlayStation game, basically, right? They're all there. You have a lot of these guys, and a lot of them are Nintendo fanboys. Is they're like, oh, Sony is only about graphics and cutscenes. There's no gameplay, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid because like I said, like there's cutscenes in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom,
Yes.
and there's tons of gameplay in God of War,
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Horizon Zero Dawn, um, Uncharted. Like all these games have a ton of gameplay in it. Has a ton of gameplay in it. Again, you can love Tears of the Kingdom. Like I'm going to eventually buy the game.
Whoa. What? What?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy. Yeah, why are you surprised? I said I was gonna buy it, but I'm buying Street Fighter
Wow,
first.
wow.
I'm gonna buy.
You buying the game?
Yeah, but I'm gonna buy
Okay.
Street Fighter first because I wanted to buy Breath of the Wild first, but I figured, you know what? Let me just buy this instead. Let me buy.
Are you going to buy so you're not planning on buying Breath of the Wild at all?
No,
Hmm,
no,
that figures.
no, because I've heard there's definitely some stuff about Breath of the Wild that I read about that I would not like the weapon breaking. That would frustrate me, but
Why would that frustrate you?
I don't want my weapon to break. I don't want my weapon to break. I just don't. But yeah. But if not, I rather just play. I rather just play Tears of the Kingdom.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. So um, what else was I gonna say?
I mean,
Yeah.
I still count Zelda. I mean, I know you probably don't, and I think Joe doesn't either. But I still somewhat still count Zelda as an RPG game, in my opinion.
Hmm?
But I think so. Which I mean,
Zelda as an RPG.
yeah.
I mean, people count Horizon as an RPG.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, but I think that the only thing that here's what I will say, because I have played many adventure and RPG games in the past. Like for example, Final Fantasy X, for example, they had a lot of time where they were voice acting. You would walk up to somebody, to a complete stranger, and you would actually hear them talk instead of just reading subtitles all the time. Um, I wish that Nintendo would stop being lazy, regarding that, because from what I've heard, paying voice actor really doesn't really cost that much money. Paying voice actor doesn't really cost that much, so I don't necessarily think. I don't know why Nintendo is being lazy in that regard, as far as voice acting is concerned. But I do kind of wish that they would give us more of that, because if people were doing this, if video game companies and developers were doing this, back then, back in even in the PS1 games, like come on, like you need, it's time for you to step up to the plate and come on, like give us more voice acting, not just in cutscenes. But that's just me.